Hey everybody, welcome back to RCT2 Reviews. This is Cook County Fair, and today we have a couple of special guests with us. We have hydroporal and BarnNID. Sadly, Raunchy Russell is not able to join us for this, but the three of these guys collaborated for this great little map that came out just before Head to Head 9. And now that I'm getting ready to catch up on all these reviews, I thought we'd bring the guys in and talk about it. So welcome in, guys.
Hey,
Hello.
yeah. Yeah, thanks for having us.
Absolutely. So this was a pretty cool map, and also a pretty, I feel like, pretty groundbreaking one to kind of come out just before head-to-head started, and had a lot of really kind of neat things. Honestly, I feel like it came out of nowhere. Like you guys advertised maybe one or two screens, and then it just kind of happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny how this came together. I think it started about, like, probably a month before head-to-head, started. Would you say, like, maybe a month and a half, but yeah, and, me and Barn were actually going to just make something to kinda advertise ourselves and just put something out there before the contest started, and, Brandon, Raunchy Russell ended up wanting to do a carnival, so we kind of all came together and decided to do this.
Well, and
Yeah, yeah.
for those who don't know, Cook County is based on a real place. This is a Chicago area, right?
Yes, I am in Cook County at as I speak. So yeah, this is based on a park that is about a 5-minute drive from me right now, and it's kind of like a park district park, and they just host different, barbecues and events there. And every year there is a carnival that comes, not quite as substantial as what we've got here, but
Well, let me pull up the image here.
I wanted to exaggerate that.
So this is
Yeah,
what you sent me ahead of time. So this is your inspiration here for the whole thing, right?
yes. This is one of the images of very many that we used actually, but this one we seem to always go back to and kind of just remind ourselves of the feel that we're going for. Even though we weren't doing it on a parking lot, we were doing it on grass. There's a lot of things here, like just the portability of everything that you see, that we really wanted to keep in mind.
Yeah,
So.
I think there's, like, actually quite a few things or rides and, stalls in that photo that we actually used as direct references as well, so it was pretty yeah, it was definitely an important picture for the
Well, and this
project.
is like the quintessential, Midwest fare, like that you see in pretty much every kind of county throughout that kind of area. This is a pretty standard deal where you go in a parking lot or a big field like you guys have, and have a big row of stalls and a couple of rows of rides, and you have the whole just fairgrounds thing. I love the dirt track in the background. This is now a parking lot and
Yeah,
everything else. So this turned into a sketch, which you also sent me here. So it turned into this, which I'm a big fan of sketching
yes,
out things ahead of time. So who drew this?
I did. Yeah, I ended up sketching this out because the way that we built this was, after Scenery Manager came out, we were just like, oh, we could just build stuff like an assembly line and then place them into the right spots. And so, um, since we had an idea of the park shape that we wanted to base it off of real life, we kind of played with that shape, and I came up with some of the ways to compose like all the things that we had built already, and so I ended up just sketching this up.
That's super cool. So let's go back into the game and let's take a look at the. So we'll start kind of in the corner here where you have the parking lot that's been taken over by some food stands and this pretty impressive bounce house. But let's start on the food stands, and I'm going to use the zoom here to advantage because there's a lot of cool detail. These are
Oh
super cool.
yeah. Yeah, these are super fun. I got a real kick out of these. These were probably one of the things that we did towards the end, I want to say, but um, yeah, they're really fun and really characteristic.
I mean, that's
Uh,
a amazing ice cream cone there. Love the burger. I mean, it feels like you're sort of riffing off of the old like RCT stands, like the in-game stands, and just making these into just these little great
yeah,
scenery bits.
we
Yeah.
wanted them to be pretty obnoxious, I'd say.
Yeah, I'm really happy that we ended up going with the food stand idea because I think originally it all started when Hydro made the like octopus bus stands, and then
Yeah,
we're
where
all
am I
like,
for that?
wow, we should do more of that, and then the whole food stand area
Yeah.
came about.
Yeah, where am I? I'm trying to find the octopus stand.
Oh,
Uh,
it's by the park in the other corner of
uh,
the to the
there,
left.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there we
it's a
go.
school bus right there by the
There we go.
boba.
This guy using the octopus Hydra's bomb ass seafood bus. Of course it is. I love it.
Yep.
That's really cool.
Yeah, that was super fun to me.
And I love the fact that you actually have some cues going on here
Oh yeah,
with
definitely.
the peeps and everything. So that's pretty neat. I think what really got me on this whole park was how much you managed to get operating to any extent, and not just like a queue. Because I know in the
Oh,
past we used to, when we did static rides, we would just hide right underneath and put a queue there. But you really managed to make a lot of these work, from the zipper here to the tornado, and the gravitron may be one of my favorites. I think this one turned out really really good.
yeah, that's got to be like my one of my favorite rides in this park, if
yeah,
not
for sure.
my favorite.
Yeah, I
But
remember when Brandon was the one who made that, and when he showed that, I was pretty blown away. Like I was just impressive to think of the using the monorail as like that ride in general. It's a really good idea.
Yeah, I don't think I would have thought that through. Like it's a clever idea, and then here using the inverted coaster for the swing ride with you build in your vertical piece there, so you at least kind of hint at what it is, even though it doesn't rotate. But I feel like everybody sort of accepts that. Like your mind adds that
right, and we
in.
even have the truck there for that guy since it folds down onto a flatbed.
Yeah, this is maybe, I think, what sets this one apart as far as fairground type parks, because we've seen a number of these over the years, but I don't think any of them have fully developed as far as you guys have their infrastructure. So not just like this kind of stuff, but also these the RVs for the employees, or the semi trailers for offloading and just storage in general. I mean, these trailers, just the amount of detail is wild. I love the row of porta johns here. I think that's a pretty clever one. And then two fair rides that you don't really see very often in RCT. You got the octopus type ride that's actually one of the themed ones and a real theme, and then the tornado, which is actually a really clever idea, using the spinning coaster cars for that.
Yeah, this was actually Brandon's territory over here. He was that tornado was like one of the first flat rides that he made, and then the apple picker ended up being like towards the end, which was pretty interesting how that came full circle next to each other.
Yeah, and
Um,
the light towers here on the wheels and everything, really nice.
yeah, we had to make like a couple versions. So there's one with the diagonal wheels, one with the straight wheels, diagonal lights and straight lights,
What?
and the apple picker. If you go back to that image, you'll see there's a flat ride on like a flatbed. Yeah, see, like it's
Yeah,
like
here in the
purple
middle.
swinger. Yeah, yeah. So we were kind of basing off that structure there for the apple picker.
Well, that's great. You get the flatbed there, and then the rest is just kind of grass. Um, and then coaster wise, it's small coasters in RCT are such a challenge to do in any kind of realistic way. So you got your oval dragon wagon here, which is great. I love the use of the ride vehicles plug in to swap that front car.
Oh yeah, that was pretty tricky. I remember that was like a lot of trial and error, and just figuring out what to use. And
Yeah,
same
yeah.
for the wacky worm was it was just hard to find something that matched the real thing.
Yeah, I think, we knew that the dragon car was is it Twisted or Time Twister? Is that what it's originally from? I think
Yeah,
that's
it
the
was
thing.
like something really
Yeah,
weird.
I think it is, isn't
Yeah.
it?
Yeah, I think we didn't realize that someone had actually made a custom train for it though, outside of Time Twister, so that ended up coming in pretty useful for us.
Well, and I like what you did here with scale. I don't know if it was intentional or not, but you've got the wacky worm here, and then the dragon wagon right next to it. So you've got the sense of this being bigger than this, but you set them far apart from your wild mouse over here, which is theoretically a much bigger ride than the wacky worm. But just in RCT, the way it kind of sets up is that
Right.
it's not always. So you've done a nice job to set them far enough apart so that they don't screw up each other's scale.
Yeah, that was definitely a part of the process of making that sketch. It was something I definitely had in mind was to keep the coasters a good distance away from each other. At least the two main ones, which would be the wacky worm and the wild mouse.
For sure. And then we got a couple more flats here. You got the great Super Loop from Larson here, and I love the tension cables. That was a good detail that isn't usually seen. The Enterprise
Yeah,
here, which is pretty darn cool. A custom version of that, and then your House Breakdance, which has a phenomenal backdrop. And then to our fantastic little standard slide.
yeah. That's funny. We knew that was a ride we wanted in there from the beginning, just because it's like classic RCT. Reminds us of just placing them as we were kids. And nobody. It's kind of an underrated flat ride. I think it's a great setting for this, and figuring out how to get the grass on the base um, worked really well.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah. It was definitely interesting trying to figure out how we have a couple of default rides in the park, and it's definitely interesting trying to figure out how to make them not look super weird compared to all of the custom flats we did. But
Yeah,
I think Hydro ended up doing a pretty good job on that one for sure.
Well, and there's a good collection of those kind of nice versions of the custom rides. You got your nice swinging ship here that's more substantial than the rest. You've got the yo-yo type swing ride here, and the nice Music Express on this side. I mean, there's just so many good little flat rides in there that really work to the scale correctly, and you can theme it up nicely. And then these fun houses, you've got a couple of these in here, which are pretty impressive. Again, a challenge, I'm sure, to get the scale right in that you're showing trailers and things like that elsewhere, and all these guys in real life sort of grow from a couple of trailers. So you're having to not only get your scale right, but also get a theme on each one of these. So you got your circus one here, which I like, and what you use miniature golf for the walkthrough.
Yeah, yeah, that was a pretty difficult one to peep. I was trying to figure that out for a while because I didn't really know how to get it going, but it ended up working out with the mini golf.
And then you have Raunchy's house on this side, which this is just pretty impressive here. This is great.
did you see the peep slide out of there just now?
Yeah.
That was amazing. I mean, come on, guys. Come on.
Well, and the spinning tunnel in use, the slide out of the mouth, and just that facade is very very impressive.
Yeah, I think that might be one of my favorite parts of the entire park. I think that was Brandon's doing. Definitely outdid the funhouse I made with that one. Definitely showed me up a little bit
Well,
because
I
it's
like that
really
they're
great.
I like that they're different styles entirely because it looks like they're either from different showmen or from different manufacturers. So it really gives some realism to that to say, okay, there's a bunch of these different rides that are similar because you go to some fairs that are have a bunch of similar rides. I remember the Florida State Fair a couple years ago had 7 Ferris wheels, like just Ferris wheels, and so it's not uncommon to see fun houses in I don't know 5 or 6 or more at one fair and all with a different theme and a different thing. Like you got your dark ride one over here. So it's kind of cool to see all these differently throughout.
Definitely.
And then all your little food stands here. So you got the same sort of general style and general size, but you have different themes on each one of them. So it looks like a different kind of owner and things like that for each one. And then your standard mouse. So this is a nice mirror image mouse. It looks like. Um, any reason why you went with the mirror image?
Um, not exactly. It was just I wanted it to be a little bit different, I guess.
I like it. I can't fault it. It looks good. The support worked great. I love that you did the space frame underneath of it. That's always a nice touch. Um, and then to the just the amount of blocks and everything that you got in there, and it's a pretty realistic layout too. You sized it correctly. I feel like these can pretty easily get into a bad scale if they're not done right.
Yeah, yeah. They can get really tricky, especially after the second half. I'd say
Hmm.
trying to get that right. Um,
Yeah, certainly worked well. And then here towards the end, we've got or towards the side, you have your nice kind of dining hall here, and the tent, and then the big bandstand with the concert venue. I love the security here in the front, and then having everybody here gathering to watch, and just the fact that again, it's you can tell that it's built out of a truck here opening up onto the whole thing. So there's that sort of detail that you've thought through.
yeah, that was super fun. All of these vehicles really just you know had reference images for them that we just based them off of, and stuff stuck.
Absolutely. And then your outskirts are still really developed too, just being able to show that this is part of an operating park that is still here when this fair isn't. So really love the playset you've got here with the curved monkey bars there, and the seesaw and the little turntable thing, and then just the detail here of like say the garbage truck, um, the little forklift here. What's this meant to be picking up?
I'm not actually sure. Brandon would probably have a clever answer for you.
Wasn't sure there was an Easter egg there or not. And then your the tennis courts here. I love the fact that you're actually still using some rides and things, and just some um, the having the ball come across. So it actually looks like there's some
Yeah,
movement and some motion.
exactly. We really just wanted movement and everything. Like we got a little mini golf ride going in the playground, uh, and like there's people dancing on the basketball court, uh, and they're kicking the can on the tennis court. But it was just like whatever we could do to get some kind of movement and everything. A lot of the scrapped ideas from this park that didn't make it in were just because of peepability's sake, and we didn't want anything to be very just static.
Okay, so you had a couple things that ended up missing the cut, mostly just because of that.
Yeah, definitely. Just for the peepability, like we wanted everything to be interactable.
Yeah, for sure.
Was there anything that you didn't get in just because you kind of filled up your space here and you didn't want to end up cluttering it too far?
Um, yeah, a Schwarzkopf. we definitely really wanted a Schwarzkopf in this in
Ah,
this
so a big guy. All right. Well, that'd be pretty cool to see kind of a larger coaster here. Although to be honest, this fits this size fair really well, like your coaster lineup. I feel
right.
like the spinning mouse and the wacky worm are sort of like fairground standards here, and then everybody's got a dragon wagon, so it all sort of fits the same realm there. Um, but you've said before that you'd like to do more of these fairs in kind of like different areas and different regions, huh?
Yeah, definitely. It'd be really fun to do this, like every summer and have one out for the summer and have this carnival basically kind of like travel and kind of acquire and drop off to different rides as they go.
That'd be cool. That'd be neat to see the kind of different stuff there. Oh, I didn't point out on this. I love the details on this log flume. First of all, the plexiglass screen on the drop here, which is something the real one has, and the fact that you've made your pool look like a temporary pool that's got raised sides and everything that's not sunk into the ground and all that. All sorts of details that you don't typically see. Um, People do in the game.
Yeah, we did. Me and Brandon did tons of research for this one. Um, we knew that we definitely wanted this ride in there because we saw one. I think I know. I think you probably know where it is, but I can't name the location off the top of my head. But somewhere in the Midwest, and I'm pretty sure they got like a just a big wooden coaster there, and then they got one of these. Um, and when we saw that, we were like, "Wow, we definitely need this." And but it turns out they're like really rare, so
Well,
it was just kind of hard finding the reference images for all the right angles and
yeah, it's an
such.
interesting layout. Yours is based off of I think Kentucky Kingdom, or sorry, not Kentucky Kingdom, Beach Bend, that has Kentucky Rumbler
Yes,
in there. So this
yes.
is sort of the standard deal. I've been to a lot of fairs that have these too, which is cool. So it's kind of neat to see how the structure goes, and then too your structure up underneath, which using the hybrid coaster there is pretty cool. So you got the
Oh
support
yeah,
still kind of hidden below it.
yeah. We definitely uh we needed to look into what happened to the supports after they go into the water, and we
Hmm.
figured that would be the perfect way to do it.
Absolutely.
We also had a hose going up to the top of the drop there.
That's
See
nice.
that?
That's a good
Yeah,
detail.
it connects to the water truck that's right next to it.
That's perfect.
Water tank. Yeah.
That's very cool. Nice little details. Good use of the lights and everything for the signage and the arches over top. It feels very fair like for everything. Um,
Yeah.
so
Lights on everything.
so what's your? I guess both of you guys like to hear what's your kind of favorite detail or favorite bit on the map.
If I were to say, I think my favorite part of the map is probably the playground that Hydro built. I remember I was really impressed when he showed that off. It's just like so curvy. I feel like it breaks the like the squareness of RCT really well, and it just looks so realistic.
Yeah, it turned out very nicely. I do love the curves in there. I love that you got your flower beds here, and it's sort of manicured, but not totally. So it's kind of has that used feel to it, like it's lived in, which is really nice. What about you, Hydro?
Ah, yeah, I'm pretty up there with the park. I posted a screen of that as my teaser for this park for a reason, and I really, there's some craftsmanship in that playground that really, uh, I really like it, just because of that slide object and yeah, you see the rocks back there. Um, it's really based on all the playgrounds I've been to as a kid, and just the best things that they had. The teeter totter, um, and the little carousel thing, spiral slide. It's all great. There's a little like little desk uh thing in there, like a little shop under. Yeah, yeah. Just nostalgia for me right here. Definitely.
It's super cool. I mean, it's cool to see little areas like that that have a lot of thought and a lot of detail into it. I think sometimes we all breeze through the parks so fast when we look at them that we don't kind of really get in there and see all the various bits and details that you kind of develop through the thought process. But it's cool to see.
Yeah, yeah. It took quite a few renditions for sure. Just the overall layout of that structure. You know, playgrounds can be all types of different shapes, so figuring that out was really rewarding in the end. For sure.
Absolutely. And then the other thing, the kind of the overarching thing that struck me on this map was the textural detailing, which I know you're a big fan of, just based on how you do it on your parks. Um, but
Yeah.
the uh, the amount of like dirt and kind of worn grass and everything like that, you really layered it in there pretty heavily.
Yeah, yeah, we really wanted to make the entire like the park look really, like lived in. Like I mean, obviously there's gonna be a lot of people coming through for the fair. So we really, yeah, we wanted to make a point to, kind of lay out because on grass you can't really have like the traditional paths that you normally see in a RCT park. So we want to kind of use the
Right.
land texturing as a way to, kind of highlight what the paths would be.
Yeah, that it doesn't have paths in there and all that is just I like the fact that you can tell exactly where the paths are by the way that you set it up.
Yeah, yeah, we were definitely pretty happy with the way that turned out. It was, yeah, definitely not the most fun part to do, and or definitely not the most fun thing to spend your time building, but it ends up being a pretty nice result.
Yeah, I think it worked out pretty well.
Yeah. We Arn really took care of a lot of that. He did a lot of the best foliage in this park, I'd say, is probably done by Barn.
Yeah, and actually it feels very natural. It feels very good.
Yeah, I love the how the railroad area came out. Just
Yeah, it's nicely put together.
really plus.
Very good. All right. Well, I think we've pretty well covered the park. Obviously, there's a lot more detail, so I'm going to put the link in the description of the video for the download here. So absolutely worth checking this out to actually see all the bits and pieces and just watch the stuff run. I think I spent a lot of time after this map came out, just kind of looking through everything and just kind of sitting and watching it go. It was nice. But any closing thoughts?
Yeah,
uh not really. It was just it was really fun to build, and I think that's just like really important. Like I think this was just like what made us want to do this was that like it was just super fun to us, and that's what kept the motivation going for sure.
Yeah, you gotta like what you do when you're building an RCT, especially when you're going to commit. I mean, the thing is, you build so fast, but I mean, for me, who always builds as glacially as I do, it's you got to really be into what you're building to carry you through to the finish. But I mean, it's true whether it's a short duration or a long one. So that's always nice.
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. Yeah, the park was definitely like super fun to build, and it was like I'd say most things on the park, like probably all three of us were in voice chat while one of us was building, like all giving input. Like it was a really really fun park to build.
yeah.
And like also like I
It
feel
was
like
definitely
yeah,
a team effort.
Yeah, it seems
like
like
it
you guys
felt
worked really well together. It's one of those that in some group parks you can easily see where one person built and the other person changed, and it's different styles kind of throughout. But all three of your styles and what you contributed meld very well. It looks like one cohesive thing. So very
Thank you,
nice.
Brian.
yeah. Thank you.
No, absolutely. Well, thank you guys for this great map. And like I said, take a look at the download and actually open it up and check it out for yourself. But thanks very much to BarnNID and to hydroportal for joining me today. And our best wishes to Raunchy Russell, who couldn't make it tonight, so we'll get him on the next one when you guys do Fair Park number 2, I'm sure. And
Definitely.
absolutely. Well, until next time, thank you guys very much for watching this video. If you have suggestions for things you want to see, feel free to let me know in the comments or send me a note, and hopefully we can add those to the list. Certainly more reviews on the way as we catch up on a lot of these parks that we missed from beginning of this year, even some from last year, and some other things here and there as well. So until next time, thank you guys very much for watching, and have a great day. Bye now.